Well, some of you guys have been asking what I keep in that big black box back behind me, back behind the driver's seat when I ride. This is it. It's a Pelican 1607 case. It's completely sealed against water. Let's start off, I guess, with these clips here. It has a real positive engagement on the clip, and these things are hard when your hands are wet to pop open. And so what I've done is I've added these ball detents or balls. You just grab it like that, and you can easily open it up in an emergency or something like that when your hands are wet or your hands are cold or whatever. So let's talk about what I have in it. You can see this line out here. We'll go over the things. This right here is some extra lighting that I use to put underneath the hull. It's LED lighting, and I've got some magnetic strips out underneath that back plate, the deck plate, that I can pop these in, and then I can be able to see in the dark if I need to. And once again, as I said previously in some of my other videos, I ride multi-day, multi-week trips, and I just have all this equipment. Hopefully I never have to need it, but believe me, when you're out alone in the South Texas Gulf Coast area, riding the bays where there's almost nobody there, you need to have backups. This right here is an extra relay for the starter. It's not those little relays. I have those elsewhere, but I bought an extra one of those, and I also had the equipment, the special, not the special, but the small Phillips head screwdriver, so I can take it off. Right here we have a portable saw that has one of those special diamond blades. You might ask me what I need that for. Yeah, limbs or something like that. However, what I needed it for on one of my earlier trips about 20 years ago was I made it all the way from Port Isabel, Texas, all the way to St. Louis, and I got into the Chain of Rocks lock, and I picked up something, and it bent my cable for my my reverse grate, and I had to get up underneath there and saw it off. I did have a special saw, so I had to saw it off because I couldn't go forward if I didn't have it there. This here is in case I pick something up in my prop, and I don't have a way to clear it effectively, because it's very difficult to get the grate off of these Sea-Doos. So when you're in an emergency and in a pinch, I'll just get up under there and put this in, and I'll saw the entire grate off, and then I will be able to get up in there with a knife or something like that to clean out the debris. Of course, for you people that have the IDF, that's not a problem, but for me, it could be a real problem. I hope I never have to use it. Indeed, I hope I never have to use any of this equipment that I'm showing you. This right here is the locks that I use to secure my equipment overnight. That's still in the case or in my locker at the back. This right here, believe it or not, is a complete top transducer unit. So that if my transducer ever goes out, I can just pop off the old one and put in a new one. Once again, I rely on my transducer and the depth gauge quite a bit, not quite a bit, exclusively for navigation, because we run shallow waters down here, anywhere from 1 foot to 3 feet. Of course, yeah, we get into the deeper stuff too, but when you're running the shallows, which you have to because of the way the wind blows here in Texas, you really need to have your depth gauge working the right way. Over here we have an additional Garmin GPS unit. It's a duplicate. It's loaded with the maps and everything. On one of my previous trips, I had my Garmin go out, and I didn't have anything other than my little handheld, and so this is an extra that I have to just pop the old one out and pop the new one in, and you'll be good to go. This right here is a set of tools that I need to have my wrenches and stuff like that to you know, get anything I need. I hope I never have to have that. I used that one time for somebody that was shut down in the middle of the intercoastal, and I was able to pop off my get my tools out and help him get his ski taken care of. This right here is a portable trenching shovel like the military uses. Once again, I hope I never have to use that, but I have had to use something like that before. One time I got stuck and ran aground on some soft stuff, and what I had to do is I had to trench a trench about 12 inches wide by 12 inches deep by about 20 feet long, so that I could then get up on plane. That was a trip in of itself. Down here we have additional quick to get tools. This is for the battery, to screw the battery tight, and we have some other smaller tools, some Allen wrenches. This in here is a battery tester. Hope I never need that, but I have that. This right here is equipment for my fuel bags. In case any of the hoses leak, I can go ahead and take off the Oetiker clamps and put on new Oetiker clamps and keep everything bound together. Let's see over here. We have emergency gear. These are some aerial flares, and there's a flare gun right there. We have a flag, a safety flag, or a danger flag, or need help flag, and then we have the a horn. Coast Guard stopped me one time, and I'm glad I had this equipment because they liked it that I had it. These are smoke flares, and this is a water dye in case something happens bad. This here is spare air. The reason you have this is because with all these boats, there's a lot of electronics and things like that, and every once in a while you need to shoot air at it to get any water out, just to make sure your contacts are working the right way. And right here is my 15-inch cutting knife that has a serrated blade, and I hope I never need that, but I don't, like I said, I don't have the intelligent debris free system like it comes on the newer skis, and so this is in case I have to get up under there and cut something out. One of the things about riding in South Texas is that there's a lot of weeds, seagrass in the water at certain times of the year, and it gets up in the grate and clogs it up. And for me, I have to get off quite a few times in order to get up underneath there. And boy, I sure do wish I had that intelligent debris-free system. This is a long Phillips. I'll need this in case I need to replace that transducer. This will help me get down and undo the little small miniature stainless sheet metal screws that I have holding the top of the transducer down onto the transducer well. Oh, I forgot to mention, this here is one of those quick start battery packs, and I haven't needed that yet after riding for 20 years, but I have one on my motorcycle, and they really come in handy. You never can tell. I think one of my friends that did the Great Loop had to use his battery starter quite a bit when he was kind of trying to figure out some problems with his ski, which I think have now been resolved. But I'm sure glad that he had it, and I bet he's glad that he had his also. So that's about it. Oh, up here we have some additional screwdrivers. The reason I have those is because some of my equipment has these very small miniature screws that you have to undo in order to get to the battery housing, and so I have those easily handy. One of the things that people say, gosh, you carry a lot of stuff. Yes, I do. You ought to see the other stuff that's on my boat, and that's why it looks like it's a homeless person, but you have to have a whole lot of things when you're traveling long distances. You never really can tell what you need. I've been doing this, like I say, for about 20 years, and many times I've needed something, and then I just add that to my complement of equipment that I have, but that I hope I never need. But once again,